on allozyme polymorphism in Drosophila ananaceae. And while working on this subject, we could know that there is an enzyme esterase, because we are working on this enzyme also, is a polymorphic one, and it's one of the loci that is either present in the individual, means Drosophila fly, or it is absent, and accordingly we call that locus as esterase active and null. And we have seen the effect of this locus on several life parameters of this species. Then this one. Now this species, Drosophila ananaceae, very briefly I will like to introduce about it. It is quite different from other species of Drosophila just because of its several genetical peculiarities. One of the important peculiarities is spontaneous male meiotic crossing over. Generally, crossing over doesn't occur in male Drosophila flies, but in this species it occurs at a substantial high rate. That is why it is quite important and unique. The second one is Y4 linkage of nucleolus organizer region. Actually, in other species of Drosophila, it is XY linkage of nucleolus organizer region, but here the X chromosome part of nucleolus organizer region that gets translocated to Y chromosome, so that makes some difference in this species. And this species possesses a large number of mutations, so it is it possesses high mutability. So many chromosomal, paracentric inversions, pericentric inversions, translocations are known in this species, so it is highly polymorphic. Some of the strains show parthenogenetic development, and also it shows lack of genetic coadaptation. So these are some peculiarities of this species. As I told you, we are presently working on allozyme polymorphism in this species, and for this purpose we have collected flies from 15 different places of our country. So these are different natural populations of Drosophila ananaceae which have been collected, and now these populations have been analyzed for their 7 enzymes, and we have selected only those enzymes which are actually polymorphic in nature. And as I told you, esterase is one of them, about which I have to mainly talk. And some of the enzymes are represented by 3 loci, others 2, or even there are enzymes which are represented by a single locus. Now, based on the level of heterozygosity of these 15 populations, we have actually calculated several aspects of population genetics, and we have found that the Indian population of this species are genetically differentiated. And we have seen that there are actually 3 factions, 3 groups of the populations. One, the South Indian populations, they are genetically different from the North Indian populations. So this is one aspect. Now the main aspect on which I have to talk is the functional characterization of this esterase 4 locus. As I told you, esterase is a polymorphic enzyme, and it's one of the loci, that is 4th one, is either present in the individual or absent. See, in this electrophoresis, we have done actually we did gel for esterase enzyme, and we found that the esterase 2 is polymorphic one, 3 is polymorphic one, but this esterase 4, it is either present or absent. And due to this, we have been able to isolate 2 separate homozygous lines. In the upper 2 diagrams, you can see that in the upper one, you see all individuals are showing the presence of esterase 4, whereas in the other one, in the right side, you can see the individuals are lacking esterase 4 enzyme. So we have actually separated 2 homozygous lines, esterase 4 active and esterase 4 null. And to make sure that this enzyme is expressed in the individual, what we did, we crossed these 2 homozygous lines with each other, and in the lower photograph you can see that esterase active, null, and then the heterozygotes are there. In case of heterozygotes, the enzyme is being expressed. So we thought that let us see that what is the role of this enzyme, and we analyzed a couple of populations. The gangotope population is one of them, in which there is either presence of this kind of individuals are there or they are absent. And from this gangotope population, we could actually isolate the 2 homozygous lines. And then we decided to do some experiments. See, in case of Drosophila melanogaster, We know that there are enzymes, esterase enzymes, which play several roles in the life of Drosophila flies. For example, they show their role, like esterase 6 shows its role in mating response. The other one, esterase 6 also plays its role in post-mating functions. There are other, enzymes which are important for aggressive behavior, or insecticide resistance, or lifespan, or lipid metabolism. So these enzymes are well known for their, individual role. We thought that why not we should look after this particular enzyme, that is esterase 4 enzyme, its presence or absence, whether that causes some effect on mating propensity, mating pattern, fertility, productivity, lifespan, and triglyceride level. So these parameters we checked in two types of flies, one with the esterase active and other in which the enzyme was lacking. And what we decided, we observed the first aspect, that is mating propensity. See, this is an experiment in which actually females of both types were introduced with the males of single type. So this is a male choice experiment. In the lower table you can see esterase 4 active and esterase 4 null. These two types of females, they were introduced with esterase 4 active male. And we found that if esterase 4 active males mate with the females of own type, then that will be considered as homogamic mating. And if the mating occurs between the males and females of two different types, then that will be called as heterogamic matings. So we could see that when esterase active males are being used, then the mating propensity is almost equal. Although with respect to percentage of mating, it is 33% and 22%, but significant difference was not observed there. So we can say that the males of this type, that is equally preferring females of both types. Likewise, in second case, we took females of these two types and introduced esterase 4 null males, and in that case also mating was not affected. We could calculate isolation index, and that tells whether the isolation is there between these two or not, and for that purpose we use a simple formula to test isolation index. What we do, we calculate this by using percent homogamic mating minus percent heterogamic matings and divided by total of these two. And if the value comes 0, then that indicates that there is total isolation, means the null types mate with the females of only its own type. And if the value comes 1, then that shows complete isolation. Complete isolation means total isolation is there, sorry. In case of, if the value is 0, then no isolation. It means males and females of both types, they are equally mating with each other. So in this table you can see that this particular locus has no effect in case of male regarding mating propensity, regarding mating success, means males of active as well as null. Both are equally, capable or successful in mating. Likewise, with regard to receptivity of female, that is whether female of active type is more receptive or null type is more receptive, we found that females of both types are equally receptive. So this locus, it means, has no role to play regarding this mating. This we have concluded after doing this experiment. Then we performed another thing, that is we observed the fecundity of these two types of flies. And we found that, see in the right side of graph, we are observing that esterase 4 active females, they are producing more number of eggs than those which are of null type. And there is significant difference. Significant difference is there. It means the females of active type, they are more fertile, they are more, means they are producing more number of eggs, they are showing more fecundity than the null types. Statistically, we got significant difference. And then we found another thing, that is to observe fertility. What we did, males and females of these two types, they were put in separate valves. You see males and females of active type, they were put in 148 valves. Likewise, the null males and females, they were reared in separate 150 valves. And we could see the number of females which actually produced progeny, they were 96 and 69 respectively. So what we observed, that significant difference occurs with respect to fertility of these two types of flies. And we find that this statistically there is, high significance level. The probability is less than 0.01. Now it means this locus has a role to play with respect to fertility. And for productivity also, we did similar experiments. That is, these females which were actually fertile, they were allowed to lay eggs and produce progeny for 12 days. Means they were given transfer into fresh food vials 3 times. So 12 days they were allowed to remain in the vial and produce progeny. And then the number of progeny produced by active type of females and null type of females were analyzed. And it was found that there is no significant difference. Although active types of females are more productive. But significant difference was not there. We can say that there is a strong dependency, but significant difference is not there. Next parameter, as I told you, was the longevity, that is survival curve was actually recorded. We observed that for how many days males and females of these two types survive. In the upper graph, you can see more difference with the active type of females. It means in case of female, with regard to this survival longevity, there is significant difference. Probability that comes less than 0.05. But in case of male, what we find that the active types of males, they survive, definitely longer than the null types of males. But the difference is not significant. Another thing which we could notice is that females, they are surviving for 111 days, and males, they are surviving for 121 days. Now, at that level, we can say that definitely with regard to this survival, difference is there between males and females. But in case of males, actually the active and null types, they do not show major difference. Now, the final parameter which we looked into was the level of triglyceride. Triglyceride level was tested in larvae as well as adult of these two types. What we found in case of larvae, see the left side of graph that shows triglyceride level in the larvae of active and null types. And we found that significant difference in the lipid content, in the triglyceride content was observed. Hemolymph of these two types was actually taken out, and then that was analyzed for the amount of triglyceride, and significant difference could be seen. In case of adult flies, you see between males and females of active type, significant difference was observed, but between non-males and females, insignificant difference was there. So this we could analyze, and we could say that this particular locus definitely has its role to play in these two different kinds of cases. Finally, what we summarized out of all these kinds of experiments is that results of male choice experiments that clearly demonstrate that there is no preferential mating between the two genotypes. And the results of mating propensity experiment depicted that there is insignificant difference in the mean mating success of the two genotypes of esterase 4. Another point is there is significant difference in the fecundity and fertility of females of the two genotypes. Results of productivity experiment showed that there is a strong dependency, and this locus seems to play important role in the regulation of lifespan and triglyceride level in this particular species. And finally, we concluded that this locus of Drosophila ananasi may have some post-mating function. Definitely, we have used the term may, but the fact is it has a role to play in post-mating functions rather than playing a role in pre-mating behavior. So, all such work we could publish in certain journals, and then these are the individuals who are associated with me. Sanjay Kumar is working on allozyme polymorphism in Drosophila, and actually his work helped us to derive that esterase 4 locus is one locus which is either present in the individual or absent, and that actually stimulated us to think on this particular problem. Kavita Krishnamurthy has actually performed this esterase 4 locus work because she is working on behavioral genetics of Drosophila. Bhumika is another third student who is working on genotype and stress response in Drosophila, and this Bintu Sathi is recently joined, means she joined just recently, and she's working on genetic variation in Drosophila bipectinata complex. So this is all. Thank you. I think I might have finished in time. Well,
First of all, we must thankful to you that you are here to time here for So I think very nice lecture, very impressive lecture. So I think we are inviting 2 to 3 questions from the audience.
Sir, is there any difference between the sperm of both the species? Structural difference?
Sperm.
Yeah.
No, we didn't dissect the females of these two types. One thing I would like to tell you that at the level of sperm, structural difference we never tried to see. But in the beginning, what we did, we dissected the females of these two types, and we found that there is difference in the structure of ovary of the two females.
Yeah, maybe that is contributing for the survivability, because if there is structural difference in the ovary or in the sperm, maybe that reduces the lifespan.
We did not look into the structure of sperm, but for ovary, as I am telling, difference could be seen. But later what we observed, that when the females of both types become aged, there is structural difference that also disappears. Means that both the ovary of both the types looks similar. So we did not go further, because in the beginning some difference was there, but that difference was not a stable one. Okay.
And how long it takes for the ovary to go this effect?
I think just 10 days. Means after 10 days, whatever difference could be observed in the beginning, that disappears. It means the null types of females, they have a smaller ovary, but within 10 days, they compensate that difference. So that is why we did not consider that point in further studies. We considered that let us decide that the ovary, whatever loss is there in the beginning, that gets compensated within some span, within some period of time.
Maybe some protein is still missing. Maybe the structure is just.
Maybe, but we didn't do that kind of thing. Simply we put flies in separate coils and observe these phenomena.
I have any question from the audience? Okay, Professor Singh, I have one query.
Okay.
From your polyacrylamide gel, what we have seen, difference in mobility in different forms, as you showed probably. So can you please tell me the prominent differences at amino acid sequence level where it occurs?
No, there is no need of going to amino acid level. We know that esterases are there. They are found in so many forms. We have actually adopted one particular parameter, means using a specific kind of buffer and in solution and doing this experiment. In that way, we are getting that there are actually 5 loci. Locus 1 is monomorphic, 2, 3, and 5 are polymorphic, 4 is either present or absent. This is the situation. If we change the parameter, means pH and all such conditions, then we may find a different story. Some other bands may appear, because this is already reported, not only with esterases, with other enzymes also. Polymorphic nature of enzyme could be there, but some new bands may appear if we change the protocol. So here we did not decide going through amino acid sequence and all those things. We simply considered that this is the locus which is either present or absent. In the presence of that specific enzyme, what is really happening with regard to these parameters? This was our only concern. We didn't consider the amino acid sequence.
In terms of biochemical attributes,
that may be done, but that may be done.
what are the prominent differences between these forms?
That may be done, but for that purpose we have to involve some other person who can actually look into that.
So since it is a amino enzyme,
Okay.
so it has a catalytic domain.
Yeah.
There are so many amino acids that are very much active in the catalytic domain.
That
so
is what.
since the polymorphism property it has, so if you replace suppose cysteine residue to say serine or another cysteine residue to alanine like that. So then after that, whether any peculiarity or any other changes you are getting.
That aspect we did not consider. What we are doing, we are taking a population and we are observing that in that population 2 types of individuals are there. In one case, there is one enzyme which is present, in other it is missing. So in the presence and absence of that particular enzyme, what is happening with regard to these things? That we have answered. That's all.
Okay, if no more question, thank you, Professor Singh.
Thank you.
For your nice presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I think